Hello, everybody. It is a rather dreary, kind of misty, cool, windy day toward the end of May in Southwest Michigan, where I'm at. Um, was just driving around. Saw this the other day too, and was just noticing this drive around. So I thought I'd take a few pictures of something. We're coming close to the end of right now. Something called No Mow May. Um, Quite a few people out there in the area here will participate in this, and I know some have heard of it perhaps, don't necessarily know what it is, or not sure they're doing it right. Some people do this because they want to do the right thing, but they aren't. Stuff like that. So I thought I'd clear up a few things for you on what is No Mow May and how do you know, are you doing it right? So No Mow May basically is the idea that insects, bees, for example, that are coming out of a long winter in a hive, um, butterflies, moths, although people don't generally think of moths, they think of the butterflies, but moths need the stuff too. Um, what the idea is not to mow your yard during the month of May so that you give these insects and pollinators that are important to us a ready food source so that they have something to eat, so that they can continue growing and thriving just like we want them to. As we need pollinators. Without pollinators, um, life wouldn't exist as we know it. If butterflies, moths, bees weren't going after nectar in a flower, getting that pollen on them, carrying it over to the next flower, fertilizing that flower, then we wouldn't have fruits and veggies that we know and love. And if you're a meat eater and you think, well, that's all right, I don't eat fruits and veggies anyway. Well, no, the animals that you eat do eat that stuff, though. So without that, they'd die, and then none of us. No more steak, no more potato, no more strawberry rhubarb pie afterwards. None of that stuff. So it is important that these pollinators continue to thrive. And this is people's way of kind of trying to help that. Although some people don't understand what it's about, this is kind of sort of what it's all about, though. Um, Now, just not mowing your yard during the month of May, is this helpful or is this a good thing? Well, yes and no. Some of the yards, I'm going to throw some pictures up here, a series of pictures. One of them's even a church, a side lot of a church, and you'll see a lot of these yards are missing the one thing that's necessary to help these early season pollinators. Can you guess what it is? Flowers. They don't eat the grass. They don't have any use for the seeds. They're after flowering plants. They need the nectar inside the flowering plants. That's what their food source is. Um, if you spread your lawn full of chemicals and things to kill off your dandelions, your clovers, and things like that, those are some of your really early season flowering grasses and plants that help provide this vital food source. And if you kill all of those off and you have that perfect lawn that, if it were mowed, would be all grass, no weeds, you're not contributing to the health of these bees and stuff like that by not mowing your yard. So if you want to truly contribute, there's a few ways you can do it. One, don't use those chemicals. Allow yourself to have some clover. Allow yourself to have some dandelions. Who cares? Honestly, when I look at a perfectly manicured lawn, I think boring. If you have nothing better to do with your life than worry about whether your grass has a dandelion or two in it, I'm sorry, choose better life choices. I don't know. Or if you like that lawn, I don't like that. Some people love that look. If you're one of those, Set aside a section of your lawn where you can plant wildflowers, where you can just allow it to do its own thing. Don't put any chemicals in it. Make it a part of your landscape, that you do as a wild area, specifically by design. When you do that, you're able to have your lawn the way that you want, and you're able to have this area that helps out the flora and fauna. Well, I guess mainly the insects and stuff like that around you. So those people that are participating but don't have any flowering plants in their yard, are they doing a bad thing? Are they helpful at all? No, they're not doing a bad thing. And yes, they are helpful, just not to what they thought they were. Now, there are other critters out there that do need different types of nutrients. They're not after your honey or your nectar producing plants. They want seeds, they want sustenance. Early birds that come back to the area, a lot of those are going to be seed eaters. And when you let your grass go long, you have those little bundles at the top that look like wheat. That's seeds. The bundle part of a wheat stalk is a seed that gets ground into a flour that you eat. That seed portion is incredibly valuable. Mice, dormice, I think some shrews and stuff like that might be seed eaters to an extent. All kinds of critters out there, mammals and birds, will make use of those seeds. So you're still doing a good thing. Just not to the butterflies and bees that you thought you were. So that's just a little quick overview of how and what the No Mow May is about. Something I thought of as I was driving around. I thought I would share it with you guys. If you want to do it better, flowers. Keyword flowers. What some people call weeds are flowering plants. Allow yourself some weeds, or set aside an area to have some weeds, and you'll be fine. Now, how do you know when it's a good time to end No Mow May? When you look around and you see all the normal flowers that are coming up, the plants, the bigger plants like your trees, your apple blossoms, cherry blossoms, crab apples, things like that start blooming, those trees and the bigger plants, honeysuckles, things like that, then you can go ahead and mow your lawn, because the bees and everything have a food source that they can rely on. They don't need you. They thank you, though. I'm sure they do. But anywho, I hope that helps. Just something to help pass the time and pass along to you guys on a dreary, cool day. And talk to you guys later.